Hello everyone, this is your video for the evening of September the 5th. We're going to do something a little different this time. I've given you this worksheet in class, so make sure you put your name on it. I'm going to go through half of it with you, and you're going to take notes on it like usual, and then the other half you're going to complete on your own. So let's begin up here at the top. What we're trying to do is figure out how to move something. Now we want to move it without changing its shape. This is called a rigid translation. So you want to put the word rigid. Rigid means it doesn't change shape. So we want to be able to visually do it on a graph by counting. We want to be able to use words, and we want to be able to use the rule. This is not the arrow notation rule. This is the coordinate notation. Remember, if I put a note on the worksheet, you put it on your desk. And if at any time I go too fast, you simply stop the video. The first thing we want to do is we want to look over at our image and say, okay, where are we starting from? This is D. This is D prime. Prime means the secondary location. So prime is the secondary location. How do I get from D, the original location, to D prime? We're going to do this just like a coordinate, so in my X and my Y. So first we think about X. How far over do I need to go? In this case, I go 3 units to the right. Since I'm moving in the positive direction, I call that X plus 3. Then I'm going to look in the Y direction, which is up and down. I'm going to move down 3 units. So that would be Y minus 3. How come I said Y instead of X again? Because this is a coordinate. So when we're doing coordinates, we need to remember the X and the Y. Let's go to number 1. Number 1 has 2 images already given to you. Your first task is to find the original image. My original image is down here. How do I know it's my original image? Because my letters don't have any other markings on them. My secondary image, my U prime, which is my secondary image, is up here. So the question merely becomes, how did I get from U to U prime? That arrow actually has a special name, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. So the question is, in the X coordinate, did I move left or right at all? The answer is no, so I say X plus 0. Did I move up or down at all? And the answer is yes. I moved up 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So I say that's Y plus 4. Now when I go back and I describe the translation using words, I performed a rigid translation up 4 units. So what are the words I really want to see? I really want to see performed, I want to see rigid translation, and I want to see the direction. More importantly, that's what you need to get 100% on your work. Let's look at number 2. Find your original locations. My original location is here, P. Where do I go? I go to P prime. P prime is my secondary location. Let's go ahead and draw an arrow that helps us see where we went. This arrow is called your vector. It has direction and magnitude. You remember that from Despicable Me, right? Direction shows you which way, magnitude says how much. When I'm looking at this, I ask myself, if I'm moving left and right, is that X or Y? This is my X value. I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positive units in the X direction. X plus 6. Do I move up and down at all? No, so that's plus 0. Describe the translation. I performed a rigid translation 6 units to the right. There you go. Number 3. Number 3 is getting more interesting now. We're not just going left, right, up, and down. Now we're going to move diagonally. Find your original locations. Here's L, my original location. Find the prime value that goes with L, L prime. We're going to draw our arrow that shows us which way we're going. This arrow or vector is the hypotenuse of an invisible right triangle that will help us figure out how we got from our original location to our prime location. How much did we move in the y-axis? I moved up 2 units. How much did I move in the x-axis? I moved to the left, so that's negative 1, 2, 3, 4 units. When we write our rule, hate that, we are going to remember that x comes first. Which one of these two values is x? X minus 4, y plus 2. Describe the translation. I performed a rigid translation 2 units up and 4 units. Which way did I go? Left. Pause the video, try this last one on your own, and then check it with me. That way you know you're ready to do the rest of the homework correctly. The first thing you did was you found your original location. There's my original location. How do I know it's original? Because all it has was an H. That wasn't English, but we'll go with it. I'm going to wind up here at H prime, which is my secondary location. How am I going to get from H to H prime? Draw in your vector first. There's my vector. I'm going down and to the left. So let's make sure we're very accurate with our vector. We're going to the left a certain number of units, and then we're going down. Yes, you must always make the right triangle. How many units did I move to the left? And because it's left, is it plus or minus? How many units did I move down? And because down, it's very good, it's minus. Now write your rule. What comes first, x or y? My pen just exploded. It's x, so we'd say x minus 2 and y minus 1. And then your sentence. I performed a rigid translation. Can't spell all of a sudden. 2 units left and 1 unit down. The rest of your homework is to finish the backside. So you've got 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. you must do both the coordinate notation and the translation in words. I will see you next class. Have a good day.